Welcome to the GHE. In this tutorial, we'll be making a Vortex marble. I'm going to start with a 13mm clear rod. I just need to heat this up a little bit and clean off the end from the last project. Okay, and I want to leave it in that tip shape. I don't want to round it out. I'm going to heat up the area that I'm working with, which is about 3 to 4 inches. Just getting it ready for a color rod so it doesn't crack. Okay, I'm going to start at the tip, and I'm just going to draw a line straight down. Just want to make sure that each time that I pull off, that I'm pulling off in the same spot as I did on the other lines. Okay, so I've got my first color on there. I'm going to go ahead and add a different color. Just fill in some of those gaps. Okay, now the whole thing is coated in color. So we've got a striped pattern of alternating colors. I need to get all of these melted in now. As I melt them in, I'm going to slightly twist them. So I'm just going to put a rod on the bottom to help facilitate that. Kind of holds the whole thing stable as I melt it together as well. So I'm just giving it a very subtle twist as I'm melting. The back half of your marble will be colored, but the front half of it will be clear. So I'm equally melting the clear into the face of the color as I go. I'm just getting the whole thing super hot. Continue melting in that clear. It's the magnification through the clear window that makes this a vortex marble. A vortex marble actually looks to be deeper than it really is. Optical illusion. So I'm just going to pull off the tip of this. I'm still going to leave it kind of in that tip shape, that cone shape. If you can imagine looking down the clear window right now, you've got a bunch of stripy lines coming down to a point like you're looking straight down the center of a tornado. So I'm just going to help it get into that shape a little bit more. really want to make sure that the tip comes to a tip. So I'm just going to barely pull it out. Okay, so this is essentially what we want to be the inside of the marble, but it's not round. So in order to get it round, we need to build up glass over the outside of this. So I'm going to take a different color. And where each rod ended originally, I'm going to start there and draw a line. It's creating a border between that clear and the color. It's just a nice accent for the piece. But I'm laying this color on pretty thick. Just trying to build up that mass to make it into a round ball. Okay, so I want to pull off the tip. I'm going to push around that color a little bit. So I'm just melting all of that together. Now I'm gently helping it to work its way around. Not too much. So I'm going to go ahead and add more accent color to continue to build up that mass. And I'm just going to do this with rows of dots. I'm not trying to be too precise for this demonstration. Just showing you how you want to build up those layers. Alright, now that's all the color that I'm going to add to the marble. So I really just want to start melting all this in and shaping it to be round. Okay, so when using your marble mold, always use a hole that is slightly smaller than the marble that you want to make. Don't go in there and push this like it's a half circle that you're going to punny to and then make another half circle. It never rounds out that way. You want to roll this glass on the ring of that hole. By just moving your hand up and down, it will push all that mass around. But it's really just about riding on the rim of that hole. You can go to the big one, you can go to the next one down, just as long as it's a hole that's slightly smaller than the actual marble. If you're in a hot shop making marbles, they don't even use one of these types of molds. They just use a big ring and just ride the glass right on the lip of that ring as they spin it. You can see how I went ahead and used the one that was slightly smaller there, just to show you. Once you got that side rounded out, I need to punty to it. Make sure you got a good clean punty and not too hot of a seal. We really want this to break off cleanly so that we don't screw up the shape of our marble. So I'm just going to judge how much mass I need on the other side and start pulling off my clear rod. Okay, now I need to get that hot, melt in the face. I'm really just working this side at this point. I don't want to get my punny hot. Use my marver to help it out a little bit. Okay, and then just spin on that rim. And while you're in there, move your right hand up and down so that you're getting every angle of this marble that you can. That will help to distribute the mass more evenly. Alright, one more time. I'm just getting a little bit more of it hot. Then I'm just going to fire polish any tooling marks that may be left. And that's it. That's our finished Vortex marble. So the way that I like to take these off is in the same mold that I just used because it's already nice and warm. So first start by letting the marble cool off a bit. You don't want to knock it off its handle and deform it. So I'm going to set it in that largest hole. Give it a knock. Make sure that my punny brake is straight up and down. And just come in at it with a hand torch. As long as you didn't leave any glass behind with your punty, this should round out really nicely. Okay, all fire polished and ready for the kiln. I'm going to blow on the top of it a little bit, just to make sure it's cooled off before it goes in the kiln. And there we go. This concludes our tutorial on how to make a vortex marble. Thank you for subscribing to the GHE.